think we know who the real Maze of the Master is. You guys smash the little crap out of that subscribe button so you guys do not miss out more. We return back to the Maze of the Master. You know what's crazy to me? These collector rare Perulias are still like $80+ We're actually falling down now. Perulias, $40 still from this. It's kind of amazing to see how those have been holding up. 7 Tachyon collector's rares. Not only is this card worth 0 points in, probably one of the cooler new formats, Genesis. Collector's Rares been gaining some traction, and guess what? 7 Tachyon Secret Rares, we're holding about $30, which is kind of the opposite of what we're seeing here. I see market price of $33, but people have been definitely picking these up for, the new format. Just take a look at your sales data for these things. I don't know, after we get first results and people, I think, get to play the first YCS this weekend in Anaheim, for side events for that, we'll see if it actually does make a difference. Sealed product for this, lowest is now $39.11. Somebody just wiped out $38 worth of boxes. I don't really blame them at this point. This is, with how much has been happening with Maze of the Master right now, and how the meta has kind of accepted this set as kind of the new explosive aspect of the meta, especially with Temple of the Kings. Of course, people are going to start to buy up the sealed products, especially when you've got $30, $40 cards in here. People are like, oh, I can pull these. Understandably so. The Man Who Left the Mark on the Toilet. These are $37 a piece right now. And these, this is from a $422. Once again, Genesis format already ignited this card. Its win this weekend ignited it even further into the stratosphere. Anubis the Last Judge. These are now 24s. Interestingly enough, the number 107s are still holding about 18s. And we're still holding at 14s here for Silent Magician level 8. Which is kind of interesting for the collector's market. Apophis has been in a free fall. So for those of you that don't know, Apophis over the weekend hit $45, which was unrealistic to say the least. But as you can see, nothing lasts forever. You've definitely calmed back down. Seeing this card fall back down to $17 to $18 is way more realistic than spending $40 on those buyout prices. The market has to recalibrate eventually. More people are going to list cards because they're going to want to cash in on that. Temple of the Kings collector's rares, $19. It's actually not too bad. Your Tachyon Primal, these are still $10 collector's rares, man. Still look very good. $11. The collector's rare Aqua Angels, still $6.50s. Same thing with the X-Head Cannon. A lot of the collector's rares from this set are abysmally worth nothing, as you would kind of expect them to be, right? A bottom of the Apophis still $5. Man with the Mark, still $4. Nothing has really changed too much with this. Same thing with Treasure of the King. You're still looking at very solidly $4 cards. So, same thing with Anubis. Cards have massively circulated and gone. Wow. The Merciless Scorpion is a $5 to $6 collector's rare. That's crazy to me. So, also, you might want to keep an eye on the Dookie of Demise. A few more people have been kind of talking about this guy and its extension capabilities. Oh boy, Doomsy. Well, first of all, Drastia Starlights are $29. That's actually crazy to see. And these have been turning over. You can thank Genesis format for getting people kind of invested in this deck. It's been doing very well in Modern Era. $30 copies of the Endrastius. Apophis coming in at 28, and then what, $5, $4, 2s. The rest of this deck becomes very much worth nothing. Let's toggle back in here to the Doom of Dimensions. Marshmallow still look $170, $180. Actually, I do think that the Starlight did gain some propulsion here. Yeah, Starlights did gain some upwards traction here. Holy crap, that's... I'm more amazed at how many people actually came through here and dropped a good couple grand just to get some marshmallows and higher rarities. People knew that the deck was good, but I don't know why people have to wait for the results to see, because you're just losing money. Frixel's still coming in at 88s to 89s. Looks like Norroy's still hundreds for Starlights. Dominant Spirals at 75s. Fleur-de-Lis is 50s. Marshmallows still holding at 55. I see that this card is being shaking, though, as it should be, right? I mean, like, I see we're jetting back up to about 60s on the long haul there. That's... Honestly, the fact that this card is shaking as much as it is, and you're seeing, you know, because of the YCS fallout from the weekend, it's doing very, very well. Garden Rose Maidens are still 51s. I'm honestly very surprised to know that this is doing as well as it is. In terms of, you know, how this card popped out for its alt art, it looks gorgeous, but definitely an interesting piece. Your Doom King or Doom Queen coming at $85, man. That's actually astronomically crazy to me. You got that much value. $42 boxes, that's not too bad, but $85 Machinexes. Arms Mosers are 35 still. Your Radiant Typhoon Chance still at 30s. 29s for Drastias. Doom King Arc Crisis, $23 Starlight Rare. Yeah, I see nothing wrong here. Sky King Zeus Ragnarok, 24s. All right. Drastias End Starlights, yeah, still coming in at 30s. The Black Rose Garden is a $20 Starlight. I feel like that's about what you're kind of expecting to be seeing. Frixels are $18. Wow. With 81 listings, I'm actually surprised those are holding. Norroy's are $16 and doing very, very well holding, actually. I think that's kind of a win. You got to remember, like, this is one of the most anticipated cards that people wanted to actually get the chance to play with, interact with. And now that, you know, it's landed and, you know, we've actually got a good cheap price point on this. It's actually looking pretty good. Dominant Spiral's coming in at $17. I'm surprised. Honestly, Dominant Spiral's been an interesting ride to watch. So a lot of people have been very hyped about that. Radiant Typhoon's coming in at 14s. RB Shepherd's Crook got $13 Starlight Rares. Draco Awakening's also a $19 card. That's crazy. Fleur-de-Lis is still holding about $11. I think I'm more surprised about that, honestly. The Crocia's coming in at 8. Doom Queen's $7 now. Still at low listings. Bramble Rose's 4s. Chance are 4s. And of course, Sky King here coming in at $3. And then from that point on, we just kind of dip off into the back. I'm actually kind of surprised that Swen is only a $2 Ultra. You have some very, like, dormant sleeping cards in this set. I can definitely tell. Interesting. Interesting. So what else we got going on back here? So Dark Spirit's Mastery. This was something that we saw kind of pop up. Obviously, you know, my first initial reaction with this is always going to be, you know, who we can play this in, you know, something like Regenesis to search for the Fiend. You can also use this to search for, you know, some of the DDD stuff. Multi-purposing tools are always going to be a very important thing, but the fact that we're tipping the scales here with this is very, very expensive. Lulu Walleth, this one caught me off guard. You are now looking at a shortage of listings on these. These are $10 to $11 for these Prismatic Secret Rares. OG Secret Rares are at 15 listings, are at $15 with 17 listings right now. And of course, I mean, your Starlight Rare still has the most at $75 on up to $80. This card, I mean, has been having its uptick. You've not really had many sales on this version. How are we looking down here on the alternatives? Oh man, this is actually worse off than I thought it was. Yeah, you've had a lot of sales on this fairly recently. That's incredible to see. Iron Thunder's also kind of stepped into the spotlight as a new tech card. I mean, 26 listings at $9. You know, you're looking at $7 down here. Otherwise, how is our quarter century looking for this? The most expensive variant. You're looking at about $38 per copy of Iron Thunder. I mean, it's within the expectations of what you're kind of expecting in the market. But that's your fallout from this. Maze of the Masters going crazy like we expected it to. You know, you've got Iron Thunder rolling in as a tech choice, Lou Walleth preparing for the future. Well, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here later today, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.